Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin charts. So yeah, Bitcoin on the 4 hour. Yesterday morning we were observing this candle whilst it was down below 55,000, and we were basically saying that there's plenty of time to go in this candle. It's about 3.5 hours left, and as long as we hold close above 55,000, then that was obviously going to look just like a test of this midpoint of the range, a test of this horizontal level. And yeah, as long as we close above it, then potential bounce back up to the top to test the top side again, and then obviously decide whether we were going to break through or not. And also just the fact that we had a higher likelihood of breaking through it than we did here, just obviously because this was the second time of testing it. It was the second time of asking, and we did actually take out those highs, and then we did actually test the top side of the zone. So we'll actually extend the box along just to make it a bit more clear what we're talking about. Yeah, so just this level basically. See if I can lock that. Yeah, just this level. Yeah, we are pulling back again. Obviously, if we test the top side twice and we don't break it, and then we come and test this support again, again, like I said, if we test it a second time or a third time, it then becomes more likely we'll break it. So we failed at the top, so we now look like we are potentially coming down to test the 55k again. Potentially, we could get basically held roughly where we are, but yeah. That's if you kind of want to split the range up into quarters and look at this level. But we can't keep splitting the levels up too much. We kind of stick with our guns, haven't we? We stick by our guns. We've got this larger range. We've got the midpoint of that, and then we've got the midpoint of this. We don't want to make things too complicated. But what we have got, what we have got going on is we have got a potential actually coming back down to test this 55,000 again. We're currently at 56,000, so about $1,000. And then yeah, we will have to see if we hold it. If we don't hold it, then we will be looking at a test of basically the 52,000. And then if we lose the 52,000, this all goes without saying, we basically play it level by level. We lose the 52,000, then we'll be looking at potentially the 47,000 as the next target. And then what we will have is just may I introduce to you trading sideways within a range, which is often what Bitcoin will do on various time frames. Trade sideways within a range. Obviously on this shorter time frame it was down, on this shorter time frame it was up, but if we look at the larger time frame, it was basically just sideways. So yeah, that is always sort of my default position that I'm looking for, because Bitcoin does like to consolidate in ranges for a longer period of times before then having what are usually quicker trending moves either to the upside or the downside. So yeah, looking good. Obviously that we're at the top side of the range. That obviously gives us a lot higher probability of breaking above this level and then getting deep into the 60Ks. But we just got to be aware of the fact it is Friday, so we've got weekend trading. So could potentially see some downside sideways consolidation over the weekend. Maybe we come and test 55. Maybe we do even lose that, come and test the 52, 53 level. But obviously with my default weekend position just being relative sideways, I would suspect if we're not going to break above, then I would also suspect we're not probably going to break this 55,000 and probably just trade sideways basically between 55,000 and, well, we could call it 58,000. But yeah, we may get some wicks above and wicks below, but that would be my guess. That is not to say that would happen. That is just based on just observing sideways weekend action, and obviously with it being Friday. So yeah, there we go. Ethereum, Bitcoin, what an absolute dirtbag this pairing is, this pairing. Basically Ethereum right back into this level. We had these horizontals drawn in, taking out these, we're looking just, yeah, we just took out all our horizontals. Oh, I can press my shift button, there we go. Took out all our horizontals and are basically in the same zone. So obviously that means we have got if we come back down to break this, to test this horizontal, we've got a better chance of breaking it this time, which then can get us down to this horizontal. And then obviously if we lose that, then it will not be looking good. It will not be looking good for Ethereum. So is this just a bit of a fake out move that fully retraces before a big pop up? We have seen such moves before. Here we go. There it is. We're looking pretty weak. Breakout move, practically fully retrace, and then catapulted onwards and upwards. And then if we look at this whole move as a whole, all we've really done is then retraced a nice amount, a respectable, a substantial amount of that move, which is perfectly fine, perfectly aesthetically pleasing chart-wise, for us to have retraced this amount of this overall up move, and then we can then potentially make more progress to the upside, take out this high and catapult on upwards. So that is obviously the Goldilocks scenario for me personally, but yeah, not necessarily that is going to be what plays out, but I mean we're basically at the level where we are gonna pretty much know. And yeah, I mean literally it's the same analysis of what I had when we were previously in this range. Break below here, we are potentially looking at obviously that larger move downside. I mean I did say break above here, move upside, but obviously we had a swing failure, a break above, and then a slam back down. So but again, if we break back above again, then again it's our second time breaking up. We would expect follow through on that occasion. So yeah, same analysis really for Ethereum, Bitcoin. Let's have a look at the USD pairing. I know some of you guys like to measure your wealth in fiat. Let's have a look, see if it wants to load. I don't know why this has been slow yesterday as well. It will load eventually, but yeah, as you can see, you can see we're basically trapped within this level here. You could call this a bull flag. So we could be looking at an extended move. I could draw it in. Obviously I could draw it in. Obviously note the fact we are at the downside of this resistance, so that would suggest we have got a chance at least of breaking down from here, at which case we'll be targeting around 1600 again, and this doesn't even want to work now. So here we go. Yeah, so we'll draw a project target just for some excitement here, but yeah, that gives us a target of basically we'll just call it roughly 2250 to 2250. Yeah, there we go. So that would take us basically deep into the 2Ks. Yeah, so that is what we could be looking at here. But yeah, like I said, if we do, it's again just going to be a case of these horizontals here break above, then yeah, we'll see a move to the upside. Maybe it's not like an immediate flagpole extension. Maybe we have a bit of resistance trade this size zone, but ultimately that is just a bull flag projection. If we break above here, we'll be looking generally bullish, and then we will probably make our way to all-time highs. Sorry, yeah, basically it's all-time highs in Ethereum and onwards and upwards if that is the case. DXY, easing off here. Well, I say has eased off from that 90, that basically 92s basically, which I'm saying basically a lot, aren't I? Which was our target for everything to still be honky dory within this asset and not actually turn bullish and basically just destroy everything. But yeah, having a bit of a pullback here, which is fine, and normal. Clearly this isn't in a downtrend yet. We've had this nice bounce here, obviously from this horizontal here. So I mean, we can draw another horizontal in now, obviously based off this low and that high, and pretty much say that this will be a trigger point. This will be a trigger point for continued downside. Let's just pull this down a bit. Yeah, for continued down move, which then at that point we potentially are looking at a reversal in this move up, and then yeah, we'll be coming back down to test around this 90 level, and then things will start to look great. But so far as this affecting Bitcoin, like I said, as long as it is macro down, which it still is, Bitcoin's just gonna be fine. The 10-year the 10-year is squeezing up again. Remember all the analysts, or I call them analysts, commentators more than maybe the actual analysts, but yeah, analysts stroke commentators. They're all playing a game of chicken with 2021 GDP US GDP forecasts. So like, yeah, you go 8%, I go 9%, and then we're just waiting for someone to go 10%. But hey, how much of that nominal GDP is gonna be real GDP, and how much is gonna just be real inflation? So that is basically the question. How much is reinflation and how much is inflation? Reinflation, this new term that Wall Street is cotton on to basically just stay deluded, as I basically said in my chat. Stay deluded. GME, interestingness going on here. We'll just quickly look at this whilst we're here. Just look at that, guys. Who would have thunk it? Yeah. Don't forget, those stimmies are coming. They are literally, those checks will be coming soon. So those funds will be finding obviously some safe haven plays to save for the future, and that is clearly GME calls. Obviously, we all know that. If Tesla wasn't enough to convince you of that, then apparently, yeah, you're not going to be convinced. And yeah, GME is obviously going to go up to, going to do a stock split. They're going to do all that crazy stuff. Tesla will probably buy it. No, I'm just kidding anyway. I'm just kidding, guys. But yeah, what a crazy world we live in, basically. But if we just, I mean, we're in crypto and we like airdrops, don't we? Literally, there is an airdrop in the US. There's an airdrop, and they're all getting it, basically. Which I just find hilarious. I just find hilarious, like the world we live in now. It's just crazy how, like, not even just in economics and finance, but even just in just general people's like behavior, people's political views, people's polarized views, it is all, the world has just gone nuts. I mean, literally back in 2006, 2007, 2008, when I first started looking at basically finance, economics, like obviously the political landscape, because that obviously impacts it as well. I mean, it's just like we were adults back then. People were adults back then, but now we just like screaming lunatics, just doing stupid stuff. But I guess it is basically end of cycle behavior. So maybe it's just normal in that context, but I'm just observing a super cycle, and we're getting towards the end of this super cycle where everyone just goes irrational and crazy, and all of a sudden, bang, the party's over, and yeah. It is coming. It's just a matter of when. The system can't continue. The wealth inequality can't continue. Basically, this manipulation and polarization of just the general masses can't continue. Eventually, we have to realize that we're not each other's enemies. This is getting way too deep now, and that we do have actual enemies, and they're not the people. They are the people that are driving the narrative away, obviously, from themselves. Right, that is enough of that. So, yeah, that is it, guys. Other than obviously our look at the stochastics. 4 hours still jammed up there, as you can see. Struggling to really obviously drag price action down. Don't forget, we are coming into the weekend. I'm expecting sideways. But yeah, 10 hour, it's going to be a bit slow loading, isn't it? 10 hour, when it does eventually want to populate. Yeah, as you can see, having a bit of a pullback here on the downward. I mean, guess 10 hour and 12 hour are going to be doing the same. And then, I mean, it'll be a case of what is the daily looking like. Yeah, 12 hours turn back over. Is the daily, which was driving up, getting a bit tired? No, not really. Still got room to run. But I would then basically look at this 10 and 12 hour versus the daily, and then just say, yeah, that the fact that they're basically putting out different things is just suggesting that we are just going to consolidate sideways. The exact levels will remain to be seen, but potentially, if we can just zoom back in here, get rid of that. Potentially, we are looking at this upper part of this upper range, which is exactly where you'd want to be consolidating, getting ready for a big blast up into the 60Ks. So, yeah, 55K needs to hold. as we already spoke about. But obviously, if we come and test it again, high likelihood of breaking it, then obviously this 52, 53k level needs to hold. Otherwise, things will actually start to look medium-term bearish, and then we'll be looking at a test down to the 46k. But failing that, failing, if that scenario doesn't play out, if we hold the 55k, consolidating here, yeah, potentially looking for a break above for 58k and into the 60k. So yeah, that is it, guys. Thank you for listening. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do DYOR, do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys later.